that this medication could make me go for 24 hours or even 48 hours without being able to read anything online or typing on my phone except to see objects or in the house, like to see things. But I could not be able to read or walk for those hours. And they felt no need to tell me that. They felt no. But why can't Spain then close the borders for the English speakers? If they don't expect us to come here and speak English, if they don't expect to serve us as English speakers when we get here, if I can get sick and I don't go to the doctor and I get service that I'm looking for. This is my outfit of the day. I look cute, no? Yeah, I'm having this sweater from Mango, this top is from Zara, the pants from Zara, and the shoe from Adidas. Work laptop. And this bag is from C&A. I am 100% expecting you. I don't care whether you did not learn it in school or what, and you should be pushing for that. If I see you marching on the street for salaries to be increased, I should be seeing you marching on the street for the system to put English classes in school, to be taught English, because you are going to be serving internationals. Right.
I don't wanna go to another place. If not, come in with me.
Hey guys, excuse my hair. And can you see me? Well, I don't even think it's important that you see me, but clearly for my point to come across, I think you should be seeing me, and I'm hoping the images are okay. Well, I'm not going to take so much of your time, and I'm not going to introduce myself, not because I don't think you care, but I don't think there's a point here right now. Let me be famous first, and then you're going to want to know me, or in my next video maybe. Anyway, so as you've seen by the title, this video is for, I don't know if I should put really who it is for, but in case you find yourself in it because you just because you just came across the video and you were interested by the title, hey, you know. But basically why I decided, I wanted to make this video, it's so I just express myself and my experience with hospitals and doctors in Barcelona for the past 2 years. And I think, why am I doing this video? Is because I think it's really going to wake when I say this, I just think of myself like small, and I wonder who will this message go to, you know? How far will it reach? How far my message will get, you know? But I'm hoping it can get as far as possible. And I don't think I'm probably the first one to say this, neither am I gonna be the last. But hey, you know, we just human, we, you know, express ourselves however we want. And I don't want you to judge me or to judge. So yeah, basically, as I was saying, I excuse the noise in the background, guys. I'm so sorry, because I was, you know, the thing with content creation, like, let me tell you something, yeah, especially to the audience. Sorry, I don't wanna, it's not like I'm coming out of the subject we're on, but it's also important that we have this conversation. I don't want to come out as like I've like scripted my talk with you so much, but also I don't want to bore you, yeah. But yeah, as content creators, or as like artists, let me call myself as an artist, or as any human being, we just get inspiration from different places, and you also get like content ideas in different places, and sometimes you're just caught up in a situation and you still have like words that describes your situation. Like, I mean, you get words that describe your situation in the moment, and then I just feel like I don't want to wait and go and script the entire thing that I want to tell you. That's why I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna find a place to sit down and record this. And if you see this video, just know that I have really, you know, put my fear away of like wanting to come out as a perfectionist, because I really want to give you guys the best content in terms of quality wise, you know, like I wouldn't be happy for you guys if I'm communicating to you and you're not able to hear me, you get me? So yeah, so now that I have said that, let me continue my story. Yeah, so my situation with hospitals and doctors here in Barcelona have not been really smooth, at least maybe for like a month ago or two, when I met this wonderful doctor who speaks such good English. Hey, I know some people might say, but Shanta, you are in this country that speaks Spanish, so for you to get their services and whatever, you must adapt to their language. But come on guys, like you can't just come from 0 to 100, you know, steps, especially when it comes to learning a language. You cannot expect me, especially like on my first month, not that I've been here for a month, I've been here for quite some time, and yes, I still can be able to communicate in Spanish, but I am solely bringing this video not to someone like me who's been here in Spain for 2 years and they don't understand anything when it comes to like describing how they feel if they go to the doctor, blah blah blah. I'm basically just putting this context into, like, for example, if you get someone who's sick and they just arrived here in their first month and they speak 0 Spanish and they go to the doctor and they're not able to communicate in Spanish, how are you able to communicate? Well, you can say, okay, Google Translator will help. Yes, like there's so many tools that can help. But guys, my point here is we are dealing with doctors who are in the public services. There's someone out there who's working in the restaurant somewhere in Catalonia. That's one of the popular area here in Spain, in Barcelona. Yeah, so it's a very touristic place here in Barcelona. If you're definitely watching this video, maybe you are here as a tourist, or you are planning to visit and you want to understand basically like the every aspect of life here in Barcelona. And yeah, so that area you definitely visited. So you find many what do you call them again, many waiters and waitresses who speak perfect English. And then I wonder, what kind of schools did they go to? You know, like there's this saying, at least in my mother tongue language, that says, is it in my mother tongue language or actually it's another language, that says actually the dumbest are the educated ones. I think everywhere in every country they have that saying, right? I'm not calling anyone dumb, but it's absolutely not okay. Not, why did I use absolutely? English, my god. It's not okay to have a doctor who studied all these years, has a PhD, and understands zero English, zero English. Guys, not even a good morning. Well, maybe a good morning they would understand. It's either sometimes there's like this ego, and you know, and I know for sure like Spain definitely has that. They want their language to hold a certain place in the world, and hey, like that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. But we're talking about now. We don't see Spanish becoming a global language, do we? Let's be honest here. Let's be real. We don't see Spanish becoming a global language. Spanish is used in mostly the majority of countries that use Spanish. It's in Latin America, and I don't think Latin American countries are really doing well for us to inspire to want to learn the language, because we either want to go there for economical reasons or any other, you know, opportunities. Therefore, so many people might not find interest in learning Spanish because so far, well, maybe I don't have the facts correct, and I'm sorry about that, but as far as I'm aware is that the successful Spanish countries, well, Spanish, of course, Spain, of course, is Spanish. It's the are the owner, I think, of the language. They invented the language or something. Well, it was born here and then they took it to Latin American. I don't know, or maybe vice versa. But it's called Spanish for a reason, and this country is called Spain. So Spain, Spanish. So I believe it's their language, and they colonized most of those countries. Maybe I would like to believe that they took that language there. So maybe I have to go read about that, but right now I don't have time to go read about that because I'm only speaking about my experience. And hey, again, my experience might be different from you, but it's been very hurtful and it's been very disappointing to get inside and see a gynecologist or any kind of doctor and they can be able to communicate to me in English. The day I went to the hospital and I found this doctor who speaks English, you guys, I danced, I jumped on my husband because it has been so frustrating for me to be able to get my point across and tell the doctor what is wrong with me, why is this happening, what is causing this. We could use Google Translation, which was okay, of course, but come on now, like you were just expecting like someone with a doctor title to know the language. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I'm being too much, but it just doesn't make sense to me that a whole doctor. Well, it's good for Spaniards, like they can actually educate someone to that level in their language. That shows that they're smart. I'm not questioning the smartness of Spaniards. No, I'm not. And I'm not questioning their intelligence. No, I'm not. I'm just questioning their ability to understand the world context. And I'm basically here speaking to actually you, like the young people. I am just saying that maybe you are being let down without you knowing, because outside of Spain, where else can you think of going and actually have Spanish helping you that much? Like which other country that is so successful that uses Spanish that you feel like, oh my God, if I go here, I'm gonna make it. In fact, that's why they see a lot of Latinos coming here, because this is one of their successful countries that they can come to, and even the uneducated ones, they will be able to use Spanish. Therefore, that's why you actually find out that you won't find many of like English speakers coming here and find any job anyhow. Anyway, that's also put us in a disadvantage a bit, people who want to come here to Barcelona. That's why it's so hard. You won't find many, for example, like Rwandans or Kenyans here as much as you find many of us like in the US or in the UK. Well, listen, like to some extent, it's good to the country. It's good for Spain that it avoids many like English speakers to come here, because let's not forget that we are the majority and we're actually closer to them. For example, like I'm talking about here, the continent of Africa, many of us speak English, right? Yeah, many countries are able at least to speak English. And why? I don't know. It's because maybe because we learn the language to be able to go find opportunities in different places. There's so many things that you can argue and say, oh, but they don't need to learn English. Why do they need to learn English? I'm not saying they should be learning English. I'm just saying that it would be such an advantage for them to have that. And also, I would like to emphasize this point. If you're in the public service, if you're a doctor, where you are receiving people from different parts of the world, I'm expecting you, for God's sake. I am 100% expecting you. I don't care whether you did not learn it in school or what, and you should be pushing for that. If I see you marching on the street for salaries to be increased, I should be seeing you marching on the street for the system to put English classes in school, to be taught English, because you are going to be serving internationals, right? Because I usually jokingly say this to my husband, that when I'm so frustrated and I can't get a service because I don't speak Spanish, I jokingly say, but why can't Spain then close the borders for the English speakers? if they don't expect us to come here and speak English, if they don't expect to serve us as English speakers when we get here, if I can get sick and I don't go to the doctor and I get service that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let me not be serious, guys. So it frustrates me a lot. So today I had an appointment with my gynecologist, and unfortunately she was not there, so they had to give me someone else. So this someone else, I asked, as long as they speak English, it's fine. Because the moment I found out about that doctor that she speaks English, I was like, you're gonna be on my list. Every time I call to book a doctor, you are gonna be the one. So today, unfortunately, she had to exchange. But then I was told that even the person whom she exchanged with also speak English. Only to find out when I got inside that this guy does not even know how to say hi. Well, they can't say hi. Even me, I'm exaggerating. But it was, I don't know, you guys, do you get it or not? Again, like, at this point you can say, but Chantal, you are in the country, you have to learn the language. And I'm sure those who feel me, okay? If you can, like, what do you call it? If you can, get what I'm saying, please let me know. Please let me know in the comment. Let me know if you get what I'm saying. So Spaniards, go, and especially you doctors, you people in the public services, please request or learn English for your own good, for God's sake. I would really say, I think it will put you at an advantage in, you never know, you know, like. And if you're like a foreigner living here, I'm so sorry, I'm with you if you're frustrated as me. And if you're a traveler watching this video and like we're wondering how is it gonna be, well, yeah, so as I was saying, if you are like traveling, just know that it might frustrate you. And obviously if you're someone like me who like, let me tell you why I was learning Spanish but then I stopped. Why I stopped? Because, guys, I had that's a story for another day, but I never grew up speaking English. The only language that I knew was Kinyarwanda. And hey, obviously there's no other country that uses Kinyarwanda except Rwanda and Burundi. So learning English, of course, it gives you like so many chances, so many opportunities, you know. So I learned English so I could be able to be at a place where I'm having advantage more than someone else who cannot speak English. So at my age, I have learned so many languages. I would say, like, I have learned languages for me to be able to get opportunities. And then I'm getting in another country that does not speak that language that I learned to get opportunities. So that is frustrating. Where how I got here, you may be asking yourselves, okay, so why did you go to Spain, Chantal? That's a story for another day. But how I got here, it's basically not have anything to do with this video. Just know that there's a time that you just feel like your brain is like, it doesn't want to, it's focused on other things. Like there's a clock somewhere that learning another language is just not at the top of your priority. You want to use the one that you have learned already and you maximize it and then top up another one. So that's the stage I was at. I was like, no, English has to work. I need to find something, you know. So I needed to make sure that, not even to make sure, like my brain just couldn't find it. I couldn't find a place for it. I couldn't find a place for me to say, okay, you are open to learn another language. And that's also another thing like that made me not really like find myself in staying in Barcelona for such a long time, because I felt like I didn't feel welcomed like that, if I can say so, you know. Like, thank God that in the end I found a job that was not requiring me to speak any Spanish at all. Like, God, I appreciate you for that. But imagine if I had gotten here and I found out that I will only make money after I know how to speak Spanish. let me say, no matter how you're hungry, like sometimes it's just like you are human, like things get to you, and I couldn't understand how for me to be able to earn money. I just graduated from a good university, I just arrived here, and now I have to learn this completely new language that is even way harder than English. For me to be able to get a job, that would take me at least maybe 2 years if I'm that smart. And don't forget, I'm old. Yeah, I'm old. Like I was just like, no, I was not up for it. Up until to this point, not yet there. And maybe in the future, yes, but now, no. So yeah, that's my frustration. I really wish that you don't have to learn languages, Spaniards, but at least people who are in the public services like hospitals, please teach them English. Or go. I hope that I share this experience or this frustration with someone else, because if I don't, then I don't know. But yeah, so that's about it, guys. I just want to peace out and say that no hate to Spanish or to anything. It's just that I was expecting a service from people who are kind of in a place to be able to help me, you know. And if you can get helped to the extent of how you want to be helped, at least anyone in a public service, I'm expecting them to speak like at least 2 languages that are spoken worldwide. And what are those? Go Google that. What are the most spoken languages in the world, where you can argue that Spanish there, and what is the second? And don't forget that the only language that Spaniards is, for example, like that one that they speak here, is Spanish. Only if you're from Barcelona, you can speak Catalunya. Other than that, I don't think there's any other language. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they are taught in Spanish. Everything is in Spanish. That means they know only one language. Not that they're the only country. Unfortunately, majority of European countries, they are like that. And no surprise that I don't see Europe progressing that much in the future if they don't adapt to the world of business. I just don't see it. China is taking them over because they're open-minded to learn. They're open-minded to learn, to progress. Europe, unfortunately, thinks has gotten there. They think they're like at the top now. It's sad. I'm just gonna leave before I get arrested for talking about Europe that much. Woo, the lighting here is amazing. Anyway, guys, I hope you really liked this video. I was on my way from the hospital. I had my work bag and I was like, I gotta sit down and talk to you. So until next time, my loves, bye. Okay, I think the lighting is here, my lips are lipping. Okay, guys, so well, I was in the bus going home. You know, I've said bye, yeah? But then I was in the bus. I took a bus and there was a bunch of students, a lot of them. They were going back home. And then one thing that surprised me is the way they were speaking English, young people. And I really actually found that very fascinating and quite promising that maybe something is changing. Well, I don't have more information regarding the education that is going on right now currently, but what I felt was that either these kids, because the neighborhood I was in, it's like a really good neighborhood. Maybe this is so cool, the way they are carrying around the old people. Oh, I think I should show you guys. Maybe if I turn around, you'll see them being carried. 2 of them on each. So yeah, I think maybe either like there are some schools that maybe teach English and others don't. Again, I don't have much information and I didn't have to go and do research. I just want to point out something. Yeah, I was actually putting it down in my note. Guys, something you should not expect in my videos is too much of scripted topics. Yeah, I would try as much as possible. If like the content I'm bringing to you, its purpose is to educate you, I will do as much as research as I can. And of course, like my whole research will not come to you directly. I would choose whichever research I agree with, and then that's what I'm gonna bring to you. So I won't go and read exactly the same thing that I read and that's what I'm gonna bring to you. No, that's not what I'm gonna do. Okay, because I realize I usually tell my husband that you don't have to believe everything you read, and it's actually true. That's why I always, oh my god, the sun looks so beautiful. That's why sometimes I like to speak. I usually tell my husband that I like to really I like to say things that comes out of my head, whether they come out smart to you or not, but that's what I'm convinced with. That's what my heart and my entire me tells me that is true. Like, it's basically what I think I would refer to as values. Like, those are the things that I believe in. Like, I don't care what like a researcher from, I don't know, 100 years ago wrote, or like whatever a scientist has said yesterday. I don't care, because that same scientist is the same as me. We both have our intelligence. Like, let nobody tell you that they're more intelligent than you. That's what makes these people become better, because they're able to convince you that whatever their life is the way, is their way or the highway. And I don't want to be going to somebody's way. I want to be taking my way. And if everybody can do that, the world will be in such a better place. If everyone can be going according to how they feel about things, not according to what they have read. Because I usually fight with my husband a lot about that. I'm like, please think, for God's sake, forget facts. Yeah, and that's what I will always tell you, to undermine your thinking. Go and do research. Go and, back up people's ideas, people's books that have been written 100 years ago. I don't agree with that. So on this channel, sometimes I expect videos that are not scripted as such, where I'll be like experiencing something and I come to you straight and I tell you, hey, this is how I feel about things, So yeah, I saw something else that I usually feel in people is that sometimes they're so apologetic that almost, oh my god, I'm so sorry, my English is bad, and sometimes I feel like they have a feeling that they've been let down to not be taught English. And I think the fact that usually, like, actually, we go to like places sometimes, and then a child will sometimes be the one to come and help in translating if there's a child around. There's this one time that it happened, and then this boy went to the mom and asked, "Mom, can I help?" And then yeah, sure. And then this boy came and translated everything that this lady was telling us. We're not understanding. My heart was so full. And even today, the same thing actually happened with this old lady. Did I tell you this experience by that? Why I was frustrated? I don't even think that I mentioned it. Hey, I can text too much and I even forget the whole point. So basically, I went to this optician, and there's this thing that they're supposed to put on your eye to basically like determine which glasses that you are going to get. And this thing can make you not be able to read for at least for more than 40 hours. No, 40. They told me between 24 hours and 28. Yeah, and I remember doing it last time, and nobody explained to me like how it was going to be. And then when I went back home, my husband was not there that time, and I couldn't be able to see. I couldn't be able to even chat him and tell him. I could be able to see things at my distance, but I couldn't be able to read. I couldn't be able to like read online, like chat. Now this lady brought the drops and told me to sit down, and she was like, "I'm gonna put these drops." And then I just remembered, okay, my last experience of where I couldn't be able to see. And then I asked her, how is this thing going to make me react? Obviously she couldn't understand. Yeah, and then let me keep talking while I'm walking, you guys. And then this lady, she then complained. Normally, actually, like what usually happens as well is that when they don't speak English, they some of them get frustrated. Like you can see it in their face that you should be speaking Spanish. Yeah. You know, you see it in their face, like the way, you know, body language. Come on, we're not stupid, you know. So this lady said she couldn't speak Spanish, English again. Like it's almost like she said, oh, English again, and blah 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 blah. And then this lady who was also a patient there was so gracious enough to come. Hey, well, even though I'm saying that they should be learning, not that my English is perfect or anything, but I can be able to communicate that, and that's what we are also expecting from them. So yeah, this lady who was also a patient came and was the one to explain to me everything. And then she's the one who told me that it even takes the lady at the hospital, the one who works at the hospital, she was telling her everything, and then this lady will be translating things to me. And then you see how this other one was going to be even worse, is that it lasts at least 48 hours. 40 freaking 8 hours, and tomorrow I have work. So I'm thinking, you think I don't have a life, I don't have a job. Forget that you can't speak Spanish. At least put it in writing. We all know that there's Google Translate. Do you understand? Like, they knew that this medication could make me go for 24 hours or even 48 hours without being able to read anything online or typing on my phone, except to see objects or in the house, like to see things. But I could not be able to read or walk for those hours. And they felt no need to tell me that. You understand? So how bad can it really be that you feel no need to tell someone that they will not be able to chat, or they will not be able to walk, they will not be able to see, for they're assuming that you're not going to be able to read or to see for 48 hours. They felt no need to tell me that. Whether they were speaking whether they said it in Spanish, but I think they should even be making someone sign for that, because that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You know, the first time when I went to optician, you know, the second day I went to fight with her, I was like, why didn't you tell me? Imagine I put that drop in the night. What if I had put it thinking that it's the normal drops that we usually put in the eyes? Guys, I don't think you understand. This is the drop that they put in your eyes, and you're not able to see for 48 hours. What was I going to tell my boss? I was just going to be writing to them, oh, I'm not working because I put drops in my eyes and now I can't see for 48 hours. Oh, come on. Like, sorry, I don't even know how I forgot to tell you guys this story, but they fucked up big time. They fucked up big time. And then you know what I said? I was like, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, because I did not ask for a leave to be able to do that. Therefore, change the appointment, bring me back bring me back, put me on Friday at least, because I don't have work on Saturday. But that shocked me. That really showed me how much they don't care. Like, that is such like an important detail to tell someone that they're not going to be able to see for 48 hours or 24. That's exactly what she said. I wish I didn't call. So, okay, I'm gonna go. I think we are done here. I'm on the road. There's so many people, yo. I feel like I just look so crazy. I'm just in the corner somewhere. I just don't care. You know, I just don't care. But yeah, this bus really made me want to take this other part of the video, which you would see like exactly how I did shoot these videos is exactly how I'm gonna put them. I'm not gonna edit them that much. No. So yeah, these kids really, they made me feel like maybe actually the system has already changed, and they are teaching this the English in school because they realize that people need them, or parents have already complained that we need our kids to learn English. It would be so cool to have a child who speaks Spanish, and because they're even near to French, maybe they even teach them French who speak English. Because so far I think, actually, although I mentioned it in my last video, but I didn't want to mention it because I don't have facts, but I think maybe the most spoken languages so far are English, French, and Spanish. Yeah. But anyway, guys, yeah, I have to head home now. Actually, I don't even know what I was going there to do. I just basically came here. It's a very beautiful garden. Like, people just come and sit here. Like, you can see chairs behind there. It's a very beautiful thing, and I'm loving the lighting here. Ooh, that looks so bad in the video. That has to go. So yeah, guys, so I just want to add something. Yeah, can I add it now? Oh, I say it later. Too much noise.